Okay, guys, so...
It's happening.
Yes, it is actually happening. I'm Véronique Costi, and I'm here with Thetic of Anti-Flag.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm great. We're in Italy. Are we in Bologna today? Is that where we are? It's a lovely place.
Actually, I spent my teenage years right here.
Really?
And there is a huge underground rock metal scene.
Awesome.
Did you have the chance to go to a random concert?
No. This is the first time. I don't know. We may have been here before. I don't remember. But I wanted to go walk around the city, but we didn't get a chance to. It was a little too far away from here to walk into the city.
That's a pity.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of cool bands, punk bands, rock bands. I used to have a lot of boyfriends here when I was living there.
Whoa, she's had a lot of boyfriends. And there's a practice room above us, right? Because when we were doing our sound check and everything, we heard other bands practicing, which is always a good thing.
So what really inspired me reading about your band is that you differ from other punk bands in terms of lyrics and message.
Okay.
Because they are more like fuck everyone, destroy the authorities.
Yes.
But actually, in your lyrics, there is anger, rage, but with a positive purpose. So a purpose of awareness, actually.
Yes.
So you can change the world in a positive way, not only crashing anything.
Yes. Well, we're firm believers that if you get enough people together, you can make anything happen. And so we believe, and we've seen that through creating DIY shows when we were young, into watching people create protests and watching people create movements that have marched on Washington, D.C. And you realize that the way things change is through people's shoes in the streets. We call it boots in the streets. If you have enough people, anything can be changed. And the question is, how do you connect those people? And we found through music is a great way of connecting people who are interested in making things different than they are today.
Of course. When I was a young teenager, I was so mad with everything and anything. And pop didn't help me.
Yeah.
You know, so I used to listen to a lot of grunge, punk, Clash, Ramones, you guys, because I'm not that old. And you're very active, as we said, when it comes to social awareness, human rights. Is there any particular cause at the moment you're taking part in?
Well, right now we just sort of have our hands full with Donald Trump in the U.S.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how we can get rid of him, whether we know he's a criminal.
Yes.
We just are not sure yet whether he has done enough to be impeached and gotten rid of.
Okay.
And I've been doing a little bit of research on Berlusconi and how the Italians were able to get rid of Berlusconi and how much he destroyed the country, and how much Trump is very similar to him in the way he is a strong man and a con man who the people gave power to.
The crazy thing is that actually is people voting them.
Yes.
A lot of people actually.
Yes, but when you're being lied to, you're voting, but you're not voting on reality. And I think that's where the battle is we have to make sure that people get the real information, not the con man story, which you could be a con woman as well. But in the States we have this idea of a con man who comes and lies to you and gets you to give them your power and your money or your house or whatever. And that's essentially what Trump has done in the U.S. and Berlusconi has done in Italy.
But also the crazy fact about, for example, the Brexit is that people voted and then went to Google to search the consequences.
Yeah.
And that's so crazy, You're deciding not only for your life, but other people's lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all about messaging. And music is about messaging, and art is about messaging. So we need to learn from these mistakes and how these powerful people have used messaging to screw over people and go against their own personal interest. And that's a powerful thing that traditionally, especially in Italy, we know about immigration and the problems with immigration. The fear mongering is a very powerful tool to get people to go against their own self-interest. And we know that when politicians like Trump say we need to be afraid of these people. We need to think past that and realize that he's using fear as a tactic to control the population.
Actually, I will do a photographic project with an Helping Immigrants Association. But a lot of my friends are like, are you doing really that for them? But they could do something bad to you. What? I mean, I'm not going there alone.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's people. And it's scaring because they don't get it. It's like there were two different kind of people. Aliens, immigrants, and normal
we call that
people.
the dehumanization of people and groups of people. And when you see them as less like you can dehumanize them. Then when you see them more like you, which if you're doing photography, you're bringing them, making people realize that they're just like us. It's humanizing them and making people realize that all of us have human rights, and we all need to have shelter and food and clothing and the things that we need as human beings, not whether we were born on one side of a border, an artificial border, or another side of an artificial border.
So talking about music, there is a huge a lot of bands right now in the punk rock industry. Is there any band that you really like, a new band at the moment?
We have a couple bands that that are coming out on AF Records. We have Derek Zanetti, which is the Homeless Gospel Choir, which is a great band. Okay. And there's a lot of really cool bands that are coming out on Dollar Signs is another band. Tarakani is a Russian band that we're releasing on AF Records. So if you get a chance, go and check out AF Records. We have a lot of really cool bands that we're working with to get their voices out and getting their points of view out to the world so everybody can hear it.
I'll do it. So talking about a bit of silly things, because not all of your viewers are as smart as you are. They're probably more like me. So you are in Italy for some days, I guess.
Yes.
Be honest. Some things that you completely ate and some things that you said, well, that's good, I like it.
Well, the thing that I like is there's a hummus curry hummus that we got backstage, which was really delicious.
It's always food, always.
It was good. What I don't like Catholics. I don't like the Pope. I don't like the Pope's control in the States. We have all these sexual scandals with the Catholic priests. So let me rephrase that. It's not that I don't like Catholics. I don't like when people in power use their power to abuse others. And we also have that issue in South America as well. The Pope had to take some resignations from some people because of the sexual abuses in South America. So that's not Italy's fault, but the Pope is here. So
our fault. It's always our fault.
I'm painting it with a large
Italians'
brush.
fault.
Yeah.
But actually, as I told you before, as there is people voting the wrong person, there is also people giving a lot of money to the church, to this kind of, I don't know how to call them, associations, but they keep doing it.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because the negative things are under everybody's eyes.
And sometimes religious organizations, I can't, not all religious organizations are bad, and I'll say that. Sometimes in the States, religious organizations are the ones who are actively helping the poor and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And when they do that, they should be commended and say that's great. And it would be awesome if the money that all the religions were collecting was being redistributed to help the people who needed it the most. And if that happened, we would love all the religions. But that doesn't always happen.
It should be like that, basically.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not like that. Why is it not like that?
It's not.
Yeah.
So...
Because they clearly have enough, and if the Pope, all he has is his old brown shoes or whatever he wears, he's got some bad shoes or something like that, why isn't he
as I told
donating
you before,
that money?
They even have debts, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because they even spend more than they earn, actually. Because they do have a salary. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, I don't want to get fired.
Oh, you're going to get fired. Yeah, this is we better go away from the Pope and the Catholics.
Okay, so maybe it is too personal. You cannot answer.
Okay.
What's your biggest desire in life for yourself, for other people, for your band? It's an open question, basically.
I will go. Do you have Spinal Tap? The movie Spinal Tap in Italy? Have you ever heard it?
Not really.
It's a movie about the ridiculousness of a band.
Mhm.
It's a fake movie. It's a mockumentary, and one of the quotes is to have a good time all the time, and that's my goal in life, is to have a good time all the time.
Because we only have one life.
That's true.
So we have to make it as nice as possible. The last question,
Yes.
which I invented, so
Okay.
it is a very professional one.
Okay.
Why are you
ready.
laughing?
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
So, which is the last time, as our site is called Lost in Groove, that you really felt like lost in groove? Which means
Lost in
groove.
Okay.
It can be stoned, happy, silly.
Lost in groove. We played in Montreal a couple weeks ago. And it was a free show. It was in the city center of Montreal, and if you've ever been to Montreal, it's a place full of fuck-ups and weirdos.
A great place.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of alternative lifestyles. A lot of people celebrating their diversity and their nonconformity. And the show was really great, and it was just an awesome experience. And that was a moment when I was lost in the groove.
It was a festival?
It was like a week-long festival, but they had a couple shows in the city center outside for free, which was awesome.
I didn't get the name.
Montreal?
Yes, the city.
Canada.
But the show...
It was called Pooza Fest.
I will go there.
Yes, you should.
It is my place,
awesome,
I guess.
It's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And actually, one of the other things that was really great about it was they did a panel on women in music and how to raise up women in music and how to support other women who were in music. It was really a great experience because there was a band called War on Women, which is this amazing band from the U.S. that is a very feminist, proactive band, and they were talking, and the festival organizers also were talking about how it is important to have more women in all facets of music, not just in the press or interview land where there's a lot of women, but in playing in the bands and promoting the shows and all those other things. So it's very important. So if you are a young woman who is interested in music at all, get a guitar, learn to play drums,
Yes.
and do the things that are not traditionally where women are encouraged
I agree.
to be. Yes.
I do it. I don't care.
Yes,
I don't give a damn.
like it. I like it.
So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And it was a pleasure. You have been kind, not the punk man that smashed me and fucked up
Yes.
everything.
I can be fucking angry, though. Don't make me angry.
No, don't be angry with me,
No,
please.
of course not.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And from Véronique Costi Groove, that's it for the moment. Ciao, ciao.
Awesome. Well done.
Oh, you're the...
Was that hard? Dude?
No,
okay?
you were so kind.
Oh, it was great.